I'm going to talk today about replacing the belts on a John Deere 112 type T0011 with a Model 31 tiller. May look pretty normal and straightforward, but when I was looking for information on the belt numbers and diagrams for the belts on how they're put on and what have you, the information was not there. Went to the John Deere dealer and thought, well, I'll just order a set of belts for it, primary and secondary power and PTO belt going down to the center pulley you see down there below. Seems simple enough, but after 4 trips to the dealer, we did get the right primary and secondary power belt. However, the PTO belt seemed to be somewhat of a mystery. With the information at the dealer, we made 2 different orders and the belt never seemed to be the right size. We ended up just measuring, old school and matching the belt up on the wall, and it seems to work okay. The thing that stumped me the most was the secondary belt. There's a primary belt that goes from the motor back to the variable speed sheave, and then from the variable speed sheave it goes back to the axle in the back. Replacing the front one was very simple. It just popped right on, but the second one, the secondary power belt, wasn't so simple. It caught me off guard when I went to replace it. I saw that the rear pulley, may or may not be able to see it in the video, rolled right up next to the rear axle. And I thought, well, gosh, guy's not going to be able to get that belt off. And of course, you couldn't. So after a little deliberation, decided to pull the 3 bolts off the flange of the pulley underneath. They're 1/2 inch bolts, about a 1/2 inch long. Takes the pulley off, put the new belt on, and then maneuver it back on, trying to line up the bolt holes and areas you can't see and tighten her back up, and everything went okay. The thing that I found most obscure was the adjustment of the variable speed sheave. I did find a little bit of information about placing the handle in notch number 5, which it's in 1 right now. We'll put in 5. And then there's a 3/4 bolt in the hole there. You can see right there. You loosen that, pull the spark plug wire off, crank the engine over until the clutch raises to its highest position on the other side, and you can see it move up when you crank it. And then you come back to this side, and if that bolt is not in the center of the view hole, you kind of push it up or down with a flathead screwdriver, and when it is, you tighten it up. Amazingly, that works. That aligns everything, and the variable speed sheave works pretty well. One caution is when I got into this thing, my variable speed sheave, the pulleys were not working quite as well, and it's really hard to video back in here, but there's a pulley where it cams back and forth on a spring on the inner pulley, and it was a little bit bound up, so when I had the belts off, I went ahead and lubricated it. You got to be careful not to get anything on the surfaces that the belt are going to ride on, because then your belts will slip. I used a little bit of anti-seize down in there with a brush before I put the belts on. And anyway, it seems to be working pretty free right now. I'm going to give her a run for her money here in a little bit. Wanted to let everybody know that the belts are all available from John Deere, and they're pretty reasonable if you can find the right one. I got about $44 in 3 different belts for this: the primary, secondary power, and the PTO. I have not replaced as you can see, the long belt that runs from the pulley below the tractor. It's kind of what I call the twist belt. It twists around and actually runs the tiller off the PTO. I have not replaced it. It looks to be in pretty good shape for now. So anyway, that's what we've done so far. I will keep everybody posted on the progress. I'm gonna put it all back together and give it a run and see how things work.